Yes. One of the messages, some message are just coming into our line now. Some people said, just send us a text message, and it reads that our imam should speak to our leaders to be just in all their affairs, and they should remember that Muslims are also part of the people that voted them into power, and they shouldn't forget to allocate their own due position for them in the sharing formula of governance in Nigeria. Thank you. This is one of the message. Like this brother is trying to say that Muslims took great part in the electioneering process, from the nomination of the candidates, from to when we are doing primaries, after primaries, consultations, after consultations, going into main campaign, and after campaign voting system, and all the rest of the story till the winner was declared by INEC. After the declaration of the winner of the election, presidential election by INEC, we still waited for the Supreme Court to affirm the same decision of INEC. And today, some positions are being rolled out. And so many other Muslims are agitating that they have not been given their due right. I think our imams, the brother is suggesting that our imams should start speaking to our leaders to balance the situation.
Bọ̀wọ̀ fún bàbá wa, ká bọ̀wọ̀ fún màmá, àtẹni tó jù wá lọ o. Bí bàbá ẹ bá sá sọ̀rọ̀ sí ẹ, wọ́n kò ṣe. Màmá bá sọ̀rọ̀ sí ẹ, mọ̀ kò ṣe. Má ṣe yín mú sáwọn òbí ẹ, jọ̀wọ́ torí ọjọ́ alẹ́. Má dààmú òbí ẹ, má yẹ jágbe mọ́ wọn, lọ́yẹ́ apá ẹ sílẹ̀. Fáwọn òbí ẹ o, ọ̀rọ̀ àpọ́nlé ni ó bá wọn sọ. Àrísìkí tọ́lọ́hun fún ẹ, jọ̀wọ́ fi tọ́jú wọn. Torí tí wọ́n bá kú, máa tọrọ fún wọn, má ṣe sàárà fún wọn o. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ń kẹ́ ọ, ìgbà tó wà ní kékeré. Kí bàbá ẹ ní ó kú, ká fi parẹ́ ẹran ńlá. Kí màmá ó gbàkódà, ká fa aṣọ ẹbí sìnkú yá. Ní bàbá tó ṣètọ́jú, nígbà bàbá ń bẹ láyé. Ó rántí ọjọ́ tóun tẹ́ṣọ àrùn sùn tíya ẹ̀ ń fa kìsàbóra. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí igi gbígbẹ, bàbá ń ṣubú ká ọmọ ń sunlé. Ó sọ̀yá di kúkú fún ìyàwó ẹ̀ torí Ọlọ́run. Bọ́ fún bàbá rẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú màmá ẹ̀ ká lè rálùjọ́nà bọ́ọ̀dà láìra. Èyí mú mi rántí sórí kan láyé mú wọn mọ̀.
Yes, some of the things that were expected from our imam to be talking, to be preaching at the Jumu'ah service now, according to, is that the importance of peace and tolerance in Islam. Peace is a unifying factor that the Muslims held with all sense of it, because there's nobody that lives on this earth, as far as the human being, Muslims should be able to live with the person. Because how to tolerate one another, it's objective of why you are Muslims. You should be able to use the best part of you to preach to the person. The Prophet ﷺ do not only use the preaching method, he used some qualitative character to preach to people, and some majority of them embrace Islam. So these are some of the things, the messages we got, that people should, our imam should encourage our people, because at the on Jumat prayer now, because nowadays the situation is somehow, and people are looking, people are not tolerating one another any longer. And should this continue, one of the unifying place to do this is during the Jumat prayer when the Imam passes messages across to the members. So this is some of the messages that is expected from our Imam to all the Muslims in Nigeria. Yes, some brothers are also saying to me, Okikiola, don't tell our Imam to indulge in to turn the mosque into political campaign. That is not what we are saying. Politics is a very major aspect in our decision making in Nigeria. Muslims we are the largest number or in population in Nigeria. If we cannot control what is due for us as a Muslim and as in Nigeria, then there's no way for us to be coming together. So what we're saying is that one of the avenue Allah in His infinite mercy has declared for the Muslims to meet once in a week after the 5 times meeting every day. Then nearby and closer by smaller mosque will come together on Friday and observe prayers together. Not only that, the Imam of the Juma Mosque has right to pass some messages. So this message is what we are talking about. Which one did you listen to today in the mosque where you observe your prayer? What is the message that the Imam passed? And what are the messages we expected from this Imam? We said you can also make this program interactive. 0903 2229 797 0818 2222 205 0818 2222 206. These are the numbers you can call if you have observed your prayer in any mosque today, and if you have listened to the Imam sermon and you've gotten any message from it. Please call on this program and let's discuss. Let other people know from where you observe your prayer, what's the name of your Imam, and what is the message you got from there. If you are the type that usually go to the mosque at the tail hour of the mosque when it's about to end, you rush and pray on the road, do you have your reward completely? That will be left for the scholars to discuss.
international asalatu Ansarudini lápapọ̀ Nawarudini lápapọ̀ Hizbullah international Ọlọ́run kó gbàdúrà wa gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ nakọ́míò Ansarul Islam Kọ̀dìríyà káfátán Tìjàníyà pátápátá Ọlọ́run kó gbàdúrà wa láyé káyé gbàdúrà wa nígbàkúgbà bàbá ń lù kó sì máa dún bàbá ń bẹ lọ́hùn kó sì máa ń gbọ́ bàbá ń ṣe ká sì máa ní bàbá ń fà kó sì máa tó bàbá ń lé ká sì máa bá bàbá ń wá káàdé máa rí bàbá ń pè kó sì máa jẹ bàbá ń pàtẹ ká sì máa tà wọ́n ṣe wá látàtẹ máa tà bàbá ń tà ká máa jèrè bàbá ń jèrè ká fi ṣe oore ká kọ́lé mọ́lé ká ra mọ́tò ọlá alá alá alá. Ala 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 wala. Ala ala ala. Ọlọ́run wọlá àṣẹ mẹ́ta. Ó fẹ́ràn kó mẹ́ta. Ejò ọ̀ka ẹran ẹkùn. Ara mi àti kìnìún. Ẹran tọ́ka bá fẹ́nu sọ. Ó bá jàkóró òkú títí. Ó ti lè wù kórìí jìnnà tó. Apádà wa bẹ́jù ọ̀ka ni. Ibi tọ́ka bá jò òkú sí. Ọlọ́run àṣẹ rẹ ni. Bí kìnìún bá tọ̀ yí kó ká. Ẹranko tó bá kọjá ń bẹ. Kò ní lè lọ bì kan. Ó jọ ń jẹ kìnìún nìyẹn. Ọlọ́run àṣẹ rẹ ni. Àwọn ẹkùn tẹ́rí yẹn ara mi májèlé ni ẹ̀dọ̀ ẹkùn tẹ́rí yẹn bẹ́ṣinṣin bá balẹ̀ tó bá tún balẹ̀ níyàn ènìyàn tó balẹ̀ yẹn á jẹ́ pé ọlọ́run àṣẹ rẹ ni fàṣẹ dáhùn sọ̀rọ̀ mi àdúrà mú mi nínà àdúrà tá a ṣe fúnra wa àdúrà tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa àtẹ̀yí tá a ṣe fẹ́ ènìyàn ọlá alá alá alá. Alá 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 alá. Alá 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 alá. Alá alá.
Another thing that is expected of imams to be preaching at the Jummah service at this present time is the need for the Muslim to be good neighbors and citizens. This is very sacrosanct because good neighborliness is part of the faith of a Muslim. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ was reported to have said that by the time he continued to mention the rights of neighbor in the life of every Muslim. In fact, some the companions were almost thinking that one day maybe the Prophet will say, your neighbor will get some inheritance from you. So, but this is how much the Prophet of Islam ﷺ has taken neighborliness, and whatever the Prophet has done is like a mirror for us, the Muslims, to emulate. So at this particular time, when things are really tense a little bit, like there's no money, everybody understand that, and we have to work hard to get things are costly, and the government is doing what they should do to make life easier for the entire citizenry. So therefore, we need not to venge the anger on our neighbors because they are not the one. We shall always have misunderstanding, but we should know how to deal with those misunderstandings when it comes, because one of the first things that is expected of us to do when anger comes is to be patient. When the Prophet was asked, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, advise me, he said, be patient. They asked him again, what advice will you give to me? He said, be patient. At the third time, he said, be patient. Because there's a verse in the Quran that said, Allah only reside and dwell in the life of those who are patient. It's also good that we should be a good citizen. It's part of what our imams or our imams should be preaching about in various mosques at this current time in Nigeria. because good citizenry is part of what is going to make this country to be the best. I usually say everybody just wants to wake up one morning and discover Nigeria has become the best country in the world. I ask the question, who are the people to fix it? And everybody will sometimes, somehow, we usually feel relieved when we can attribute our problem to another person, that this person is the one that caused my downfall or the downfall of this thing, why this thing could not be done. Sometimes these reasons is not enough. It's not even worth it. What is expected of every one of us that we should learn from our mistakes and move on. The next name or another name of this word is what they call challenge or problem. So if you are attributing it to somebody or one particular tribe, is the problem of your community not developing, is the problem of your office not going forward, is the problem of your business not moving forward, or you are not trying, is the problem of what, problem of this, problem of that. You should just identify some of the problems and move on and pray to Allah, work hard. The result is what you should be, and part of it is that we should love our country, we should be good citizens, and we should do what is right and enjoy what is good. Yes, another thing that is expected of our Imam to be preaching at our various Jumat mosque is the importance of education and hard work. Importance of education and hard work. This is very vital. It is also said that sometimes some people have lost hope in education system or educational system in Nigeria because it's usually said that education is the key to success. Some people argue that education key or success key through education has been withdrawn by the system of governance in Nigeria. Did you agree with that? Anyway, some said if you go back to our tertiary or institutions, some of the knowledge that we are getting from there are not actually what is expected that can make us to strive in whatever decisions of our life. Some said particularly this form of curriculums we are doing in our institutions from the beginning to the top is actually things that are preparing us just to come and be an employer of a labor, not the one that can initiate what you can do that you use to support your country. Working harder is expected. If working hard will make our country triumph, it's part of the duty of the Muslims to do that. So one of the things is that we should always be part of the thinking of the way out. Way out of what? Some of the challenges our country is facing right now. We need to be part of the thinking. How can we be part of the thinking? Is that we shouldn't be listening or waiting for looted fund or money coming from dubious way before we can say we are earning our rights, our earnings. We should work hard and make sure that we earn our own rightful portion of our effort through legitimate working harder for whatever we can earn. This and many more will make us to be part of the system changer. Education is key. I will always abide by that, but skill is also important. We have so many people that have triumphed that makes realize success through education. Then we also have people that have skills, then they have also contributed immensely into the nation building. So don't look down on anybody. A vulcanizer that you are standing in front or the one that just passed now has a service he is rendering. If your car should break down or your tire should be punctured, without that vulcanizer, you cannot move anywhere. No matter how your degree is, no matter how elevated you are, no matter how success you have, you will need that person to render that service of patching that tire before you can proceed. So if you can value what you do in the office because of the education, value those who also have who are skillful, who are artisan in their career, and they have contributing. If you look around where we are living in the city, the urban, particularly the area you are now, you will ask the questions: what is the contribution of education here? What is the contribution of artisan? What is the contribution of skills? You will discover that all of the buildings you are seeing and the roads, the networks, the electricity, and the rest of the thing you are seeing around are the work of education and skillfulness. People who are artisan in nature were part of the people that built, that made up the contribution of what we have in metropolitan city, the value for what we use in our transportational level, the value of what we wear, what we eat, including the woman that sells. So these are the things we should understand, that education has assist us with whatever skills that we have already built to move forward. So these are some of the things our scholars should engage our Muslim brethren in the Jumat mosque at this point in time. Some of this advice are some of the messages that is coming in from our super listeners.
nígbàgbọ́ nínú àdúrà tó bá ti ń kírun tán kó yan náfìlà tó bá yan náfìlà tán kó tún ṣàdúrà tó bá ṣàdúrà tán kó ṣàṣàlátù lẹ́yìn àṣàlátù yẹn kó ṣe sàrà láìpẹ́ láì jìn ọlá ṣàánú ẹ̀ kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni á dára fún mi ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni á dára fún mi ẹ̀dá ò ní jìyà kó máa máa yọ̀rọ̀ ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni á dára fún mi. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni owó dé tán ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni owó dé tán a ò gbàwé òṣì lọ́dọ̀ yàrá bí ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni owó dé. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọdé tán àgàn márùn-ún ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọdé tán ìgbà tá ò gbàwé àgàn lọ́dọ̀ yàrá bí ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọdé. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. ọlọ́run bí ìgbà àdúrà mi ti wọlé dé tán ìgbà àdúrà mi ti wọlé dé tán n ò ní ṣe iyèméjì lórí gbígbà àdúrà mi ti wọlé dé tán. kó jẹ́wọ́ ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. ọlọ́run ó ẹrú ẹ̀ láì ṣe ohun tó ń fẹ́. òye mi sí olúwa mi lóye òye mi sí olúwa mi lóye òye mi sí olúwa.
Another important point that is expected of our Imam to be talking about in our Jumat mosque to the Muslim brethren in Nigeria, because our situation, the need for the Muslims to be charitable and kind to others. Charity has a very important role in Islam. I think it's the fourth pillar. Cleansing of our wealth through charitable means, which you have to do. Apart from that, there's what we call sadaqah. Sadaqah here simply means giving out at will to the needful, whether the person is even having more than you, but at that particular time he is requesting for it. And the situation is so tense now that there's a need for our imams and our scholars to dwell much on how we should channel our charity to the rightful people that needs it. You can see that they are commercial beggars. These are not the people that we're talking about. If you look around now, particularly in the FCT, the federal government or the FCT government have a special place for beggars, and they are taking good care of them. But there are some people that are really, really there in need. Somebody came to town, or he came from a particular village to the city center here, and by the time he was going back, he shut off the transportation, and he did not want to embarrass himself. He looked at the fellow person and see that this man should be able to lend hand of help for him. Don't look at him as if he's a perpetual beggar. Yours is, if you have, please extend hand of charity to him. You can be saving a lot of life. It takes it's a hard decision for a man to approach another man begging him for just a transport fare. Sometimes it can happen. So you just have to look at it. So not only this angle, when you cook in your house and you feed your family, remember there are people who have not even eaten at all. So it's part of the beauty of our religion that you should make extra plates for somebody else. Somebody can just have it, and you have the person to get it. That is what is expected of us. So charity can be in form of feeding people. In fact, I used to hear from the Imam Fuad Ademola Adeyemi in the food bank of Alabibia they usually do than feed a lot of people. He said there's no best charitable act you should indulge in if not feeding, and that is one of it. Feeding people has a lot of charity and a lot of reward and has a lot of returns to whoever they indulge in that. What type of charity are we talking about? What type of food are you giving to the person? Are you making the food from your house and giving it out from the plate you cannot use to consume that food? That's not charity. That's not how it should be done. Regards everybody, place them in the right position, like yourself. A kind of food you can consume by yourself and your family should be the one you give out in charity. Don't look at the situation of what they are, how they look. They are not well dressed like you. They are not in an AC car. They are not living in the city center like you. But nevertheless, they are human beings. They are somebody's father. They are somebody else's mother. And they are somebody else's daughter and sisters. So look less of them is not what is expected of Muslims. Our Imam have been doing lots about this. I think at this particular time, there's a need for organized sadaqat to the people that needs it. It's really, really encouraging. One of our brother on this program sometimes ago was able to say that thousands of people, inmates, are in correctional centers just waiting for somebody within thousands of naira to get his freedom. Within thousands of naira to get his freedoms. We can always do this. Correctional center has a procedure at which you can help and do charity for people. So follow those channels and do what is best. Apart from that, look, go to the hospital. Some people were lying down there because they cannot pay their bills. They cannot even get themselves right drug that is required. Government have done whatever they can do. We can also support this charity aspect of it. It's a must we must do. Yes, we have a big concern for our fellow Muslim brother, but that doesn't mean that we cannot extend the hands of charity to other Nigerians who may not be Muslim, but who believe in God, who may not be whatever we follow, who may not be from our tribe. It is expected that a Muslim should also extend the hands of charity to such people. So regardless, charity it may be in big form too. Somebody is homeless and you have lots of home lying down, nobody is there. Give it out to charity. You have lots of clothes lying down and nobody is there to wear them. Give it out to people that needs them. But when you want to give it out, make it neat, make it best, make it in a well form that you can also put it on. Not tattered clothes, not torn clothes, not all of those ones that are not well ironed. Give it in a very prestigious way. You will see that a lot of people are waiting to accept this. So one of the things that our Imam have been speaking on, that is called, we are encouraging them to preach about for the populace of the Muslims in Nigeria all over, is the need for the Muslim to be charitable and be kind to others. If you are not kind to others, you cannot be a Muslim. Kindness is one of the words that we must place before our hearts whenever we want to do anything. You are in the office, somebody's life is lying down in your table, but you are looking at it that, well, what's my business? Am I the one that asked him to be poor and then to be literate or to be that? Please do something. Touch people's hearts with your kindness. These are the acts of charity that Islam is talking about.
Ọba tí ó dínà má gbàrà má jìnà oore mọ́ mi. Aláwọ̀ ṣáàtì láyé. wọ́n láṣẹ tí ń bẹ lára atẹ́gùn tó ń fẹ́ lójoojúmọ́. wọ́n láṣẹ tí ń bẹ lára àsọmọ̀ tí ó yẹ lé wa lórí. wọ́n láṣẹ tí ń bẹ lára ilẹ̀ tí yóò jí mọ́ wa lẹ́sẹ̀. wọ́n láṣẹ tí ń bẹ lára òru tó dúdú dìrìmù. wọ́n láṣẹ tí ń bẹ lára omi òkun tí ò sí mi nígbà kan. wọ́n láṣẹ tí ń bẹ lára ọ̀sà tó dákẹ́ jẹ́jẹ́. àṣẹ tó fi ṣẹ̀dá wọn wá fi dáhùn sọ̀rọ̀ mi omi ṣe. ọ̀la wí bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ń bẹ nínú kúra nìyẹn. ọlọ́run wo mi ṣe tètè kọ́nsídà mi láyé. mo dúpẹ́ bó o ti gbọ́ mo dúpẹ́ bó o ti gbà o. Omi ṣe kọ́nsídà omi ṣe kọ́nsídà omi ṣe kọ́nsídà kọ́nsídà omi ṣe ọlọ́run omi ṣe.
Another aspect that we are expecting our Imam to talk about is that the importance of family and community in Islam. This is another key area.
I don't wonder why the grass is green. I don't wonder why the wind is invisible. I don't wonder what the birds fly. I don't wonder who light the stars. Who they can remember in the sky. Me I go there use them to serve Allah. I go there use them to serve Allah. Me I go praise you. Well. You are my guarantor, my provider, my cherisher, replenish my pocket. When I go, just forgive me. But by 16, self-subsisting, self-sufficient, my protector, my reformer, most exalted, most supreme, omnipotent, omniscience, now you are the worship till I die. Me I go there use them to serve Allah. I go there use them to serve Allah.
Yes, our family is very important. Important of family and community in Islam. We should understand that our family starts with ourselves. The kind of training you have received from your parents, how did you extend it? And you are now becoming a father. You have brought in another person, your partner, wife, and both of you are now meeting to form a family. What type of family are you expecting to introduce to the society? What type of family are you contributing to your community? What type of community is made up of your state, your local government, your state, and Nigeria at large? If you look at this, you can see that they are interwoven. It is whatsoever we produce from the family that goes into the community, and from the community to the state, and from the states that make up Nigeria as a nation. Now, family consideration is very important. Are we the type that train our children in the lines of Allah? Are we the type that allowed the detection of God and His apostles to be the upmost in their decision and life making? Or are we the type that threw our children into the wilderness and asked them to fend for themselves, whatever and however they were able to make up themselves? What results are we expecting for such? Yes, I could understand that so many things are into so many things that led to so many things. In the business of marriage and in the business of family making, there are a lot of challenges. We are having a lots of divorce. Divorce rates in Nigeria is ringing alarm. Why? If you look at the institution of Islam, it's really frowned about it, but yet he permits it because it has to be done. But nevertheless, what are we now contributing to the community to make our country best is part of what is expected of our imam to be preaching and be telling and be talking and be advising the Muslims on how to do, because making a good family, making a good community, contributing to the best of the community is the formation of good Nigerian tomorrow. Yes, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain for this week. Every Friday, please join us on this program called Do It For Allah. And at this particular point, we'll be looking at what are the preaching that is coming from our imams in our mosque. My name is Okikiola Kosim. Till we meet again on Wednesday on the same program. Stay tuned. May Allah be with us.